It happens almost every night. The lights go low, you slide beneath the covers, you turn, shift, settle, and somewhere in the quiet you feel a soft, familiar weight. Not on your chest, not near your face, but lower, always lower, by your legs. A small, warm body curling into the crook behind your knees, settling gently against your shins, stretching across your feet as if anchoring you to the bed. And if you move, they adjust, but they don't leave. It begs the question. Why there? Why the legs? Why not the heart, the shoulder, or the arms? The answer begins with one simple truth. Your cat is not just sleeping. They're choosing safety, choosing space, choosing you, but in a way that balances comfort with caution. The legs are close enough to feel your presence, to share warmth, to breathe in your scent, but they're also far enough to allow quick escape if startled, or freedom if overstimulated. To your cat, the leg zone is a sweet spot, a zone of trusted distance. They can feel your heartbeat just barely, hear your breath, sense your calm, but they don't have to manage eye contact. They don't have to navigate hands reaching in the night. They don't have to worry about being smothered or startled. Your legs become a safe ledge. In the architecture of the bed, a place where they can both retreat and belong, and for all their independence, for all their aloofness, cats are creatures who long to belong. They just do it quietly, at your feet, against your ankles, wrapped softly around your calves, like shadows that trust the light. So the next time your cat curls into your legs and sighs into sleep, don't think of it as a habit. Think of it as a message. Imagine for a moment the world through a cat's senses, not just sight, not just sound, but a deep, refined sensitivity to temperature. To a cat, warmth is not just comfort, it's survival, it's a memory. It's instinct. From the day they're born, kittens are guided by heat. They nestle against their mother, blind and barely moving, drawn not by sight, but by that invisible, glowing pull of warmth. That memory never fades. And even as they grow, as they become fierce and sleek and quiet rulers of the house, that pull toward warmth remains encoded in their bodies. Now fast forward to your bedroom, a cool night, a quiet bed, a still human body under a thick blanket, and at the very edge, your feet, tucked beneath covers, radiating low, steady heat like coals under a campfire. It's no coincidence that this is where your cat goes. They're not just seeking closeness, they're seeking comfort at the most primal level. Your legs are the perfect radiator. You move less than your upper body. You disturb them less. You generate a soft heat that feels natural, not smothering. To your cat, your legs are like the edge of a fire pit. Just close enough to feel the warmth, but not so close they'll get burned. It's not about affection alone. It's about thermoregulation, safety, and quiet companionship. They want to rest near your fire, not be in the flames. And so they curl into your calves. Tuck behind your knees, press gently against your toes. They find the warmth that echoes kittenhood, the stillness that invites sleep, the connection that doesn't ask for too much, and in that quiet balance, they rest. Because your feet are more than just limbs. To your cat, they are heat, heart, and home. Cats are quiet rulers. They do not shout their love. They do not bark their loyalty. They do not beg for attention. Instead, they claim what matters by simply being there, by choosing it, by returning to it. When your cat sleeps by your legs, it is more than comfort. It is claiming, not possession in the way humans think, but belonging in the deepest sense of the word. In the wild, cats choose sleeping places with purpose. High spots for protection, hidden spaces for safety, warm spaces for recovery, and always places within their marked territory. Now imagine what it means that your legs, your moving, breathing, unpredictable human limbs, have been chosen by your cat as a place of rest. You are no longer just a human, you are part of their map, part of their world. A territory they return to not just once, but again and again, night after night, because in your sleep, you don't just offer warmth, you offer stillness. You offer a kind of loyalty they can feel in the rhythm of your breath. And as they curl into the crook of your knee or stretch along your shin, they are doing something subtle but powerful. They are anchoring you into their space. You become part of their claimed world. And the reason they choose your legs is because it's the safest yes they can give. It's not your face, it's not your hands, it's not the places that demand interaction. It's the place that lets them rest and still be near. So when your cat sleeps by your legs, they're not just making themselves comfortable. And that is no small honor, because in a world that never stops moving, your cat has found a piece of peace. Right at your feet. To sleep is to surrender. Even for humans, sleep is a vulnerable act. Our bodies go still, our senses soften. We trust that nothing will harm us while our minds wander far from the waking world. But for a cat, an animal of alertness, of quick reflexes and sharp survival instincts, sleep is not taken lightly. In the wild, a cat must always know where the danger is, where to leap, where to hide, where to run. And so they choose their sleeping spots with exquisite care, not by softness, but by strategy. Behind your knees, next to your calves, draped along your shins, these are not random choices. These are zones of safety. To a cat, sleeping by your legs means they can rest, but still monitor, still feel, still retreat if needed. Your legs offer an escape route that your chest never could. Your torso moves more, your arms flail. Your breath rises and falls too much. But your legs, they are predictable, rhythmic, secure. And in this safety zone, your cat can finally let go. You may not see it, but in those quiet moments, your cat is making a decision. A decision to turn off their guard, to stop scanning the room, to release their claws from invisible perches, and simply trust, because to sleep by your legs is to believe, on some deep, instinctual level, that you will not harm them, that nothing nearby will harm them, that this spot right here is safe, and more than that, it is safe because of you. You are the shield, the guardian, the quiet protector they can curl against, even if you don't know it, even if you think they're just being cute, even if it seems like they're just chasing warmth. They are doing so much more. They are placing their entire fragile, trusting, sleeping body against you. Touch to a cat is sacred. It is not given freely. It is not craved indiscriminately. It is measured, thoughtful, and entirely rooted in trust. When a cat touches you, when they brush against your leg, bump their forehead into yours, or curl beside you in sleep, they are accessing something far deeper than habit. They are accessing emotional memory. Cats may not recall events the way humans do. They don't replay conversations or remember dates. But they do remember feelings. They remember how you made them feel. Safe, warm, calm, respected. They remember whether your hand was patient or rushed, whether your voice was soothing or sharp, whether your presence brought peace or chaos. And over time, those memories become maps. Maps of safety, maps of love. And they follow those maps, often without realizing it, until they curl into your legs like it's instinct. But it's more than instinct, it's recognition, because that exact space, your legs, your presence, the rhythm of your stillness, has been etched into their memory as a safe touch zone, a place where no harm has come, a place where sleep is undisturbed, a place where emotion, soft, slow, silent emotion, has bloomed without demand. In this space, the cat finds a kind of emotional imprint. It might have begun on a sick day, when you didn't move much, and they found your feet comforting. Or maybe it began after a long travel, when you returned exhausted, and they came to rest by you, offering closeness without need for words. Maybe it was just the way you slept, still, predictable, kind, whatever it was. They remembered it, and so they returned to that space, not out of randomness, but out of quiet remembrance, because to a cat, comfort is not just physical. It is emotional familiarity, and when your cat sleeps by your legs, they are not just seeking warmth, they are seeking the emotional footprint you left on them. The feeling that this space, with you, is good. And every time they return to it, that memory deepens. You are no longer just a place. You are a feeling. and that in the language of cats is the greatest trust of all. Love for a cat is not loud. It is not wild tail wagging. It is not jumping or licking or barking with joy. It is stillness, presence, a glance, a breath shared, a weight that quietly settles next to yours. For humans, love is often tied to words, to declarations, to grand gestures. But for cats, love is subtle. It lives in quiet proximity. They may not look at you directly. They may not purr every time they see you. They may not sit on your lap like a loyal dog, but they do something more profound. They stay close, and nowhere is this more visible than at night. When they curl not on your chest, not wrapped around your arms, but by your legs. It is the perfect place for a silent bond. No pressure, no eye contact, no need to engage, just nearness. Your cat can sleep beside you. Hear your breath, feel your warmth, without being forced into interaction. That nearness, that deliberate closeness without demand, is their quiet way of saying, I love you, I trust you. It's easy to miss, because to many it just looks like a cat laying by your feet, but if you look closer, you'll see something deeper. The way they shift when you move, the way they return to the same spot night after night, the way their body relaxes into yours as if you're part of the bedding. Not just a person, but a trusted space, and that silence, that lack of meows or demands, that is not absence. It is presence. It is the presence that speaks volumes, because in the language of cats, love isn't noisy, it's loyal, it's calm, it's constant. And when your cat sleeps by your legs, they are saying everything. Without saying anything at all, most people don't think of cats as protectors, dogs maybe, with their loud barks and sharp awareness, but cats, they're seen as aloof. Independent, too self-contained to worry about others. But that's not the full truth. Cats may not be obvious protectors, but their instincts tell a deeper story, and one of those instincts reveals itself at your feet. Because when your cat sleeps by your legs, it is not just for comfort, warmth, or habit, it is also a kind of watch. In the wild, cats sleep lightly, they doze in shifts. They rest in places where they can see danger coming, or feel it in the vibrations of the ground, in your bed. Your room, your quiet nighttime body, is still part of that ancient instinctual world. Your legs, in particular, offer a strategic advantage. They are furthest from your head, closest to the door, closest to sounds, to drafts, to movement, and your cat, curled into that position, is not just relaxing. They are monitoring. They hear what you don't. They feel shifts you don't notice. They sense tensions in the air that never reach your waking mind. They don't announce this protection. They don't puff up their chest. They simply exist near you in a way that is quietly alert. And if they ever leap suddenly, bolt from the bed, or stare silently into a dark hallway, they are not being random. They are guardians, silent ones, still ones, but guardians nonetheless, and their chosen position by your legs gives them both distance and reach, enough to observe and enough to protect. They won't fight off intruders, they won't bark warnings, but they will feel the world shift and respond in the only way they know how, by being close, by being alert, by being there, not just for their sake, but maybe, just maybe, for yours too. Because love for a cat isn't just affection. Sometimes, love is quiet protection. From the end of the bed, there's something about the way cats move through the night. Soft, silent, intentional, as the world falls quiet, and the lights dim. Your cat's rhythm begins to shift. It may start with a slow walk through the room, a pause at the doorway, a stretch in the hallway, and then, without a word, without a cue, they return to your bed, and not just anywhere, to your legs night after night, without needing to be invited, without needing a reason that makes sense to anyone but them. It's a ritual, and it is filled with meaning. Cats thrive on routine. They find comfort in predictability, in the knowing of what comes next. To them, your bedtime is a shared event, not one you plan together, but one they've quietly added themselves to. They wait for you to settle, to quiet down, to exhale the last breath of your busy day. and then they move into place, by your knees beside your calves, pressed softly against your feet. Why there? Because it's familiar, because it's the spot where your scent is strong, your energy low, and your body still, but more than that. Because they've chosen it, they've marked it with their body, their warmth, their presence. And in their world, this repetition matters. This act, returning to the same place night after night, is more than routine. It is ritualized love. It's how they remember safety, how they return to peace, how they tell their body and their mind, "This is where I rest." And as you drift into sleep, unaware of the quiet ceremony happening beside you, they are fully aware. They feel the weight of the room, the silence of your breath, the steady thrum of a moment repeated 100 nights before. And with that, they curl in, not because they have to, not because they need warmth, but because this moment, this exact pause, has become a sacred ritual. And at the heart of that ritual is you. Not all wounds are visible, and not all healing makes noise. Cats, like people, carry their own kinds of pain, stress, fear, loss, change. You might not see it, they might not show it, but cats feel deeply, and when they are unsure, overwhelmed, anxious, they seek something simple: stillness, and not just any stillness, but one they trust, one they recognize, one they've found to be safe again and again. Often that stillness is you. At night, when the lights go out and distractions fade, your energy becomes calm, your voice disappears, your legs become a steady warmth. Not grabbing, not reaching, not speaking, just being. And for a cat, that is a rare gift. It's not about being petted, it's not about attention or treats, it's about emotional recovery. Lying near your legs is like a soft reset, a way to come back into their body, to feel the safety of something consistent and good. It's like returning to the memory of the mother they once needed, to the heartbeat they used to curl beside. Your cat may have had a hard day, a strange noise, a scent that unsettled them, a memory they can't explain but still feel. And yet they come to your bed, to your legs. To let all of it go, they press against your shin, they curl at your ankle, and with each slow breath, they release just a little more. That's the healing. It doesn't look dramatic, it doesn't need words. It just needs a safe space and a body that doesn't demand anything back. And you provide that, whether you know it or not. You are part of your cat's healing process. You are the calm in their chaos, the silence that holds space for their feelings, the steady presence that makes emotional rest possible. So when your cat curls up by your legs, know this: they're not just sleeping, they're coming home to themselves right beside you. Cats don't speak the way we do, they don't craft sentences, they don't explain their feelings, they don't ask questions out loud, but they do communicate all the time with their bodies, their tails, their ears. And yes, with where they choose to be. So what does it mean when they choose your legs? Why not your chest or your arms? Why there at the very bottom of your sleeping form? Because your cat is speaking, in silence, through placement, through behavioral language. The legs are neutral ground, not too intimate, not too detached, just right. They offer warmth, rhythm, and predictability. They don't pet, they don't hover, they don't interfere. That's why your cat returns to them again and again, because legs speak a very specific message. I'm here with you, and I see you. It's their version of a soft whisper, a side glance, a shared breath without words, a quiet me too in the dark. Even when your cat is curled up and seems half asleep, they are speaking, they are choosing you consciously. They are placing their body near yours because it means something to them. Maybe you don't always catch the signal. Maybe you roll over or don't notice, but that doesn't change the message. Because cats don't speak to be understood the way we do, they speak to express alignment. Alignment with their surroundings. Alignment with the people they trust. Alignment with comfort, energy, memory, and belonging. So when they lay by your legs, they are saying something only you were meant to hear. And that, in its own quiet way, is one of the loudest forms of love a cat can give. You might think your sleep is yours alone, your thoughts, your dreams, but your cat knows, your cat feels it. Because your rhythms, your patterns of rest, motion, and stillness aren't just part of your night, they become part of theirs too. Especially when they choose to sleep by your legs, that spot, that space between movement and stillness. It's not just about warmth or safety anymore, it's about alignment. Cats, for all their independence, are deeply sensitive beings. They notice when your breath changes, when your heartbeat slows, when your legs twitch in a dream, restless in thought or memory. They begin to mirror you, not always at first, not perfectly. But slowly, gently, your cat's sleep cycle begins to echo yours. They settle when you settle, they wake when you shift. They lift their head when your energy rises, even if your body stays still. And where do they do this? At your legs, the perfect place to feel you without disrupting you, to sync without suffocating, to match without interfering. It's a quiet tether. They adjust their internal world to yours. Not because they have to, but because they want to, because you have become part of their environment, part of their trusted rhythm, and it goes even deeper. Some studies have shown that cats who live closely with humans may adapt their sleep to match the human household. They pick up cues, they feel stress or calm radiate from the people they live with. They notice when something is different, even if it's just a mood. So when your cat returns to your legs night after night, it's not just a habit, it's emotional intelligence. They are syncing to you, feeling you, matching the quiet music of your unconscious life. And when you dream, they are there, steady, soft, like punctuation at the edge of your story. They may not know the words for what you're feeling, but they feel it, and their body rests beside yours in agreement. In shared peace, in shared repair, in shared sleep. If you've ever shared space with a cat, you know one thing for sure: they are watchers. They observe everything. The rustle of a paper, the shift in your voice, the wind outside the window, even when you think they're asleep. One ear often stays alert, that's their nature. But here's what's profound. When a cat lies by your legs, not sitting, not watching, but truly relaxing, something incredible is happening. They're letting go. They're not watching you. They're not tracking your every movement. They're surrendering their vigilance. And that, for a creature wired for survival, is no small thing. It means they trust their environment. They trust the energy of the room. They trust you. It's subconscious. It's primal. It's not even something they choose. It's something they feel. You see, when a cat lies by your feet, they aren't curled in fear or half ready to bolt. They are soft, open, exposed, because in the animal world, sleeping deeply is a risk. It's when you're most vulnerable, most easily attacked, most unaware of your surroundings. So when your cat does this beside you, it speaks volumes. It says, I don't need to watch you. I don't need to guard myself from you. And that's why it's so often your legs. Because it's close enough to feel you, but not so close that they're on edge. It's proximity without pressure, presence without expectation. Your legs are familiar. They move gently in sleep, and that gives your cat permission to rest, to turn off the watcher in their mind, to stop analyzing, to stop bracing. And in that surrender, they heal. They reconnect to their body. They breathe without tension. They dream without fear. You may think they just like the warmth, or the softness of the blanket, or the way the mattress dips. But look closely. Your cat doesn't always choose the warmest spot. They choose the one where their soul can rest. And night after night, that place is by your legs, because you've created a space where they can let go. Not just with their body, but with their entire being. To a cat, the world is made of invisible lines, territories, boundaries, safe zones. Spaces they claim with scent, memory, and energy. They don't write their names, they don't put up fences, but they know instinctively what is theirs. They claim their favorite windowsill. They mark that one corner of the couch. They rub their cheeks along the hallway wall, and at night, they return to you, more specifically your legs, not because they're convenient, not just because they're warm, but because they've turned that space into a kind of emotional real estate. In a world that's always changing, with sounds, smells, routines, and energies shifting daily, Your cat finds consistency in that spot. It's a territory of the heart, a place that smells like you, feels like trust. Radiates the memories of peace. They know the rhythm of your breath there. They've felt your stillness as you sleep. They've laid there 100 times before. Safe, unseen, unbothered, that place is claimed. But unlike territorial behaviors rooted in dominance or control, this one is rooted in something softer, emotional ownership. Your legs aren't just a body part to them. They're a symbol, a memory bank, a charged space of connection. A small patch of earth they know will always welcome them back. And it's personal. If you've ever had your cat skip your lap, but circle back to curl by your knees, or if they follow you from room to room, but only settle when you sit or lie down, it's not random. They're searching for the place they've claimed, the space they've filled with their scent, and in turn with their trust. Because for cats, territory isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's layered with memory, charged with safety, anchored in a relationship. So every night, when your cat pads quietly into the bedroom and circles once before curling beside your legs, know this: they're not just finding a place to sleep. They're returning to the corner of the world where they feel most at peace. And most themselves, that space is sacred to them. Because in the quiet language of the feline heart, they've made it home. When we think of protectors, we imagine something loud, obvious, defensive. We think of barking, of claws, of sharp eyes that scan the dark, but cats protect differently. Quietly, spiritually, energetically. Especially when they sleep near your legs, it may not look like protection. They're curled up, eyes closed, barely moving, but cats are never fully gone. Even in rest, they know. They're tuned to your body, your scent, your breath, your silence. And they know when something shifts. Maybe you twitch, maybe your mood is different. Maybe there's tension in the air that even you haven't noticed yet, but your cat notices. They adjust their ears, they raise their heads. They send a signal of awareness into space. Not aggressively, not dramatically, just enough to say, I'm here, I feel it. That's what sleeping by your legs is about. It gives them access to feel and scan without crowding your space, to be present without pressure, to offer protection without performance. They may shift their body to face the door, or position their back against you, or twitch their tail when something outside makes a sound. These are not coincidences. These are cues of guardianship. In the wild, cats sleep in configurations that offer mutual protection. Back to back, side to side, at angles that allow each member of the group to rest while another stays lightly alert. When your cat does this with you, especially by your legs, they're mimicking that ancestral pattern. They're saying, I've got this side, you sleep. It's subtle, but it's real, and it's profound. Because protection from a cat isn't just about guarding against outside danger. It's about energetic shielding, emotional balance, a quiet act of loyalty in your most vulnerable hours. You may never see them move, you may never hear a sound, but they are there like a soft shadow with a heartbeat, letting you drop your armor. Because they've decided to wear theirs. Just for a little while, that's not just a pet, that's a guardian. In Fur, you walk from room to room, from kitchen to hallway, from couch to sink. You pace, pause, go about your day. Sometimes barely noticing the little shadow at your heels. But they notice you, every step, every turn. Every shift in your rhythm. They follow not out of boredom, not out of need for food or play, but because your presence means something. To a cat, routine is sacred. Familiar motion is like music. And when you become part of that rhythm, they start to move with you, like a silent dance. Your lives begin to sync. They nap where you work. They perch near where you pause. They learn the echo of your footsteps and the meaning behind your stillness. But here's the fascinating part. When night falls and your body finally rests, your cat continues that rhythm. And they do it by returning to the last place they followed you, your feet. It's where they've trailed you all day. It's where they understand your motion. It's where they remember the you they watched in motion, and now sense in stillness. Cats don't sleep beside just anyone, they sleep beside stories, and your feet, your legs are rich with memory where you walked. How you moved when they settle beside your legs at night. It's not just affection, it's a continuation of the journey, of the companionship, of the connection built through silent observation and mirrored presence. To them, those final moments of the day are just a softer version of the time spent walking behind you, sitting near you, waiting patiently outside the door when you closed it. You may have never noticed how often they linger near your legs during the day, but your cat remembers. They feel your footsteps like echoes, and when the world gets quiet, they return to that rhythm, curling beside the part of you that has led them, waited for them, and never quite left them behind. Because to them, your feet are more than just movement, they're home in motion, and your legs, resting in stillness, are the quiet promise that tomorrow, the footsteps will begin again. Warmth means survival, warmth means safety, warmth means peace. For cats, creatures who evolved from desert dwellers, warmth isn't just a luxury, it's a language, a signal, an invisible magnet pulling them toward the places that feel most alive. And at night, your body becomes that warmth, not just temperature, but presence. Now think about your legs, they're wrapped in blankets, curved in stillness, often untouched by the shifting of arms, phones, or midnight turns. Your legs are steady, undisturbed, a quiet flame of reliable heat. And that's where your cat goes, because it isn't just about staying warm, it's about staying safe in that warmth. Unlike the torso, your legs move less when you sleep. Unlike your chest or head, they don't rise and fall with breath. They offer a smooth, solid warmth uninterrupted. Cats are mathematicians of comfort. They calculate softness, heat, space, and motion like invisible variables. And over time, they've learned that your legs offer the perfect balance of all of them. But there's more, because under that warmth lives something deeper: your heartbeat, your blood flow, your energy. Even from your feet, they can sense the rhythm of your life. The pulse that reassures them, you're here, I'm not alone. It's not just warmth they're curling into, it's your being, wrapped in heat, protected by distance. They find a place that holds the soft glow of your aliveness, without the unpredictability of arms or heads that move. It's a partnership. They offer their body heat in return. They lend their own heartbeat, adding to the shared warmth that deepens the connection between species, between beings, between souls. And in that warmth, something ancient is remembered. A primal comfort, a feeling passed down from wild ancestors, who curled into their kin in silence and safety. Tonight, your cat may seem like just another shape beneath the blanket, but they are there because your legs, your warmth, called them home. When the lights go out and your eyes close, the room changes, not just in silence, not just in stillness, but in energy. To us, it feels like rest. To a cat, it feels like something more, because as your body slips into the world of dreams, your energy shifts, your mind moves differently, your emotions begin to surface, ripple, and release, and your cat senses all of it. They don't need science to tell them something's changed, they just feel it. Some say cats are natural empaths, that they sense emotional frequencies even in sleep, that they pick up vibrations, soft and subtle, released from your body like waves from a quiet shore. This is why they sleep by your legs, because that area near your feet is where those waves often pass through. It's where tension exits, where dreams flow, where grounding begins. Your legs are not just limbs, they're energy anchors. They hold the charge of your day, your walk, your pace, your weight, and as you sleep, they begin to release. Your cat notices, and instead of moving away, they stay close. Why? Because they may be grounding you, absorbing and balancing your energy field, reassuring your body that it's safe to rest, to dream, to let go. Have you ever woken from a vivid dream to find your cat nestled by your feet, watching you quietly? Or found them already there, as if waiting to enter your dream with you? It's not a coincidence. To them, your sleep is not absence, it's opening. And your legs, they're the gentle threshold. The dream portal. By resting there, your cat is doing what cats have done for thousands of years, holding space, guarding thresholds, balancing energy. Even in slumber, their presence is not passive. It's tuned in, connected, curious. They don't need to understand your dreams. They only need to feel you're safe within them. So the next time you drift into sleep and feel the weight of a small body curled gently at your feet, know that you're not just sharing a bed. You're sharing a field, a dream, a quiet current of trust between souls. And the one who lies beside your legs, they're not just sleeping. They're watching the doorway between worlds and choosing to stay. We often think of healing as something loud. Hospitals, pills, diagnoses, fixes, but true healing, the kind that soothes the soul, not just the body, is often quiet, and cats somehow know this. When they curl beside your legs, when they press their warm little body against your ankle, when their paws rise and fall with your breathing, they're doing more than resting, they're healing, not with words, not with intention, but with presence. Because presence from a cat is not neutral, it's deeply sensitive, deeply aware, and always full of quiet observation. They watch how your body moves, how your muscles twitch, how your breath stutters or deepens or stalls. They feel the tension in your calves, the ache in your knees, the subtle shift in your nervous system that even you haven't named. And they go to that space. They settle where your pain lives. Some cultures believe cats are natural healers, that their purr vibrates at frequencies that support muscle repair, bone growth, and stress release, that their stillness carries an energy that aligns the body in ways science can't yet explain. Whether you believe this or not, there's something undeniably healing about their closeness, especially at your legs, where the weight of the day collects, where exhaustion lives, where you carry everything and say nothing. They press there not by accident, but by wisdom, their own quiet, instinctual medicine. And when they do, you start to feel it, not always as a dramatic release, sometimes just as a softening, a loosening of something tight, like a hand unclenching, like a sigh you didn't know you were holding, like a gentle reminder that you are not alone. In those moments, your cat becomes more than a pet. They become a kind of emotional therapist, a warm compress for the soul, a heartbeat that says, I know you're tired, I know you're hurting. And they do, through the night, through the silence, not for reward, not for praise, but because that's what love looks like in feline form, a healing touch, a steady breath, a soft body wrapped around your pain, offering peace. Without ever asking for permission, the world is still quiet. Maybe the sun hasn't risen yet. Maybe it has, and you're just now waking to the gentle presence at your feet. A shift of weight. A small yawn, a stretch, long, slow feline. Your cat is waking. But not with urgency, not with a leap or a cry, just a stretch. First the front paws reach forward. Then the back arches like a wave. But still, they don't leave your legs just yet. They stay a moment longer. Their body may have stretched away, but their paws often stay close. Why? Because this moment, this morning space, is sacred. Your cat has been with you all night, sharing your heat, tuning to your rhythm, resting beside the quiet pulse of your sleeping self. And before they return to their world of prowling and purring, they stay, they pause. It's like a thank you, a silent bow, a soft goodbye that doesn't need words. For them, your feet were not just a place to sleep, they were a place of connection, grounding, healing, peace. And now that you stir, that the day pulls your awareness back from dream to doing, your cat senses the change, but they don't rush away. They release you slowly. They stretch, yes, but they do so with grace, with respect, like a dancer leaving the stage, like a whisper fading, not breaking. They move toward the door or the window, but often glance back. A flick of tail, a soft sound, as if to say, thank you for letting me stay, thank you for being still. And in that stretch, in that pause, in that choice to leave your feet last, they remind you of something simple. Connection doesn't always shout. Sometimes it curls quietly beside you all night, leaves in silence, And trust you'll understand. Because cats don't just sleep by your legs, they honor them. They greet the morning with a parting gift. A stretch of love. A gesture of presence. A final note in the symphony of the night. And as you rise, you carry that warmth with you. Not just in your body, but in your heart. They could have slept anywhere. The window ledge. Bathed in moonlight, the top of the bookshelf. Above it all, the quiet corner of the room. Safe and tucked away, but they didn't. They chose you. More precisely, they chose your legs night after night. Without fanfare. Without asking. Without needing permission, they curl up. Press in. And stay, and that's not random. It's a declaration. It says, you are safe, you are still. In a world where cats have the freedom to roam, the instincts to hide, and the wildness of sleeping alone, choosing to share space with you, especially the part of you farthest from your voice, your face, your control, is the truest form of trust. They're not clinging, they're not needy, they're simply honoring the quietest kind of connection, one built on consistency, one built on body heat and stillness, and the soundless heartbeat of being known. You might not notice it every night, you might shift and forget, you might wake and find them already gone, but their choice is repeated, deliberate, sacred. Because sleeping at your legs is the feline way of saying, I know who you are, I know how you feel. There's no performance, no pleading, no need to impress, just presence, and maybe that's the greatest gift a cat gives. They remind you that you don't have to speak, or lead, or even understand. You only have to be still, steady, warm, and they will come, silently, lovingly, loyally to your legs, to your side, to your soul. Because to them, you are not just a human, you are home, and in their quiet, gentle way. Night after night, they tell you, I trust you with my sleep, I trust you with my silence. So tonight, when you pull the blanket over your feet, and feel that gentle, familiar weight settle beside you, know this: you're not just sharing space, you're sharing trust, you're sharing something ancient, quiet, and rare. Because your cat, with all their mystery and grace, has chosen you. Again, not for food, not for play, but for peace. They've curled beside your stillness, wrapped themselves around your tiredness, and made your legs a temple of comfort, of loyalty, of love. It's not just a place to sleep, it's a place to belong, and in that soft flick of their tail, that slow rise and fall of breath near your feet, they're whispering the only truth that matters. I'm with you, I feel safe. Sleep well, dear friend of the feline heart, you've been chosen. And in the quiet world of cats, that means everything.